according to human values, one's own life comes first. I wonder what you thought of the call to worship this morning. Did it mean something to you? Did the words just have that little bit of an impact about who we are and the choices that we make? The way in which we choose ourselves first. We choose safety, security, comfort, convenience. We choose all of those things for ourselves. And when it comes to interacting with others, and if we encounter somebody who needs something, before we get involved in that situation, we have to calculate the cost. Well, how much is this going to cost me? How long is this going to go on for? Will I be setting up an expectation that this person can continually come back to me and ask me for help? How does this sacrifice or giving or being involved with somebody else, how does that impact my life and my well-being and my peace and my state of mind and my health and my family maybe? And so when we encounter this, we calculate the cost of what it means to get involved with others. Jesus speaks plainly to us today. Plainly, you could think of all sorts of theological loopholes here, but if you're honest with yourself, Jesus speaks very plainly about what he's calling us to do. I came across this New York Times story that was reported a number of years ago that I want to share with you. So the article goes like this. It was every subway rider's nightmare times 2. Who has ridden along the New York's 656 mile of subway lines and not wondered, what if I fell to the tracks just as the train came in? What would I do? And who has not thought, what if somebody else fell? Would I jump in to rescue them? Wesley Autry, a 50-year-old construction worker and Navy veteran, faced both of these questions in a flashing instant yesterday, a couple of years ago, and got to these answers as almost as quickly. Mr. Autry was waiting for the downtown local at 137th Street and Broadway in Manhattan at around 12:45 in the afternoon. He was taking his 2 daughters, a 4- and 6-year-old, home before work. Nearby, a man collapsed. His body was convulsing. Mr. Autry and 2 women rushed to help him. The man, whose name's Cameron, 20 years old, managed to get back up and then suddenly stumbled to the edge of the platform and fell into the tracks between the 2 rails. The headlights of the number 1 train appeared. I had to make a split decision, said Mr. Autry. So he made one and leapt. Mr. Autry lay on top of Cameron, his heart pounding, pressing him down into the space that was roughly a foot deep. The train's brakes screeched, but there was not enough time for it to stop. 5 cars rolled overhead before the train came to a sudden halt. The cars passing inches from Mr. Autry's head, smudging his blue cap with grease from underneath the train. Mr. Autry heard onlookers screaming when he called out from under the train, "We are okay down here. I've got 2 daughters up there. Let them know that their father is okay." He heard cries of wonder and then a huge applause. I don't feel like I did anything spectacular. I just saw someone in need, Mr. Autry said. I did what I felt was right. According to human values, one's own life comes first. We might be kind and generous and thoughtful towards others, yet cultural norms dictate the priority of our own safety or privilege or physical comfort. Yet, Jesus in this passage advocates risking your life for the sake of the other. In other words, be willing to lose your own life for the sake of love and the gospel. Because this risk for another, the sake of another, represents God's values. Those are His values. The man's actions in the story are so memorable because it contradicts the common human value of calculated risk. We want to know beforehand how much it is going to cost us. Most of us will not face giving our own precious life for the sake of others. But we do have opportunities daily to consider how we define failure or success, to choose between self-preservation or giving life to others. In the clash between human values and God's values, what does it look like to lose your life for the sake of the gospel in order to save it? What are the daily things that communicate that we give our lives for others? Friends, in the time of Lent, I have mentioned a few times, yes, it is a time of searching our own hearts, but it is also looking for opportunities to minister God's love, peace, and grace to the world. I encourage you to do so, not just in the next few weeks, but through the entire faithful life of us. Amen.